Next, sew together the various parts of the pufferfish. Take out the back fabric in the eyes. We will now install the eyes. Locate the position of the stitch marker on the back fabric. It is also the position of the yarn tail. Fold the fabric along this position. The side with the stitch marker will serve as the back of the pufferfish. The corresponding side is the front of the pufferfish. It is the side where the eyes will be attached. The eyes are installed between rounds 11 and 12. Let's count to confirm the number of rounds. First round, second round. Third round, fifth round. Round 5, round 6, round 7, round 8, round 9, round 10, round 11, round 12. The eye should be placed here. You should position the sewing needle here to make a mark. Count 6 stitches to one side from the sewing needle. Attach a stitch marker here to indicate the position. Count 5 stitches from the sewing needle to the other side. Ensure there is an 11-stitch gap between the two eyes. Similarly, attach a stitch marker here to indicate the position. Remove the sewing needle. Let's take a look at the position for installing the eyes. First, lay the back piece down. Take out the eyes. The material kit includes shiny sequins like this. Place the sequin on the back of the eyes. Remove the part in the middle. Press it against the back of the eyes. This way, you will have a shiny eye. Press the eye into the designated position. Count the number of stitches between the two eyes once more. Confirm that the stitch count is correct, and attach the other eye. Similarly, place the sequins on the back of the eye first. Then, insert the eye into the designated position. Turn the fabric inside out. Attach the safety back piece to the back of the eye. When attaching the safety back pieces, apply a bit more pressure. Attach the safety back piece to the other eye in the same way. The eyes are now installed. Next, take out the abdomen fabric. Sew them together. First, thread the yarn tail of the back fabric onto the sewing needle. Stack the two fabrics together. Ensure that both front sides are facing outward. You can align the ends of the fabrics together. Remove the stitch marker. Then begin sewing. Sew in a 1-to-1 correspondence. Leave a small opening at the end. We need to add stuffing. There is still a section that hasn't been sewn. Add the stuffing. Take out the stuffing and locate the opening here. Open it up. After opening, take a portion of the stuffing, tear it apart to make it fluffy. Add small amounts multiple times into the fabric. This level of fluffiness is just right. Next, continue sewing. Please be cautious while sewing. You can use your fingers to press down the stuffing. Avoid sewing the stuffing in. If you find that the stuffing is not sufficiently full, you can add more stuffing. Once the sewing is completed, pass the yarn tail through the fabric a few more times. Trim any excess yarn. The back and abdomen are now sewn together. Next, take out the mouth. Sew it between rows 11 to 12 on the front side. Position it between the two eyes. Thread the yarn tail of the mouth onto the sewing needle. First, let's determine the position. Here is the first round. The second round, the third round, the fourth round, the fifth round, the sixth round, the seventh round, the eighth round, the ninth round, the 10th round, and the 11th round. The distance between the two eyes is 11 stitches. Count 5 stitches from the eye towards the center. At this position. From this eye, also count 5 stitches towards the center. Sew the mouth here. Sew with the yarn on the front side of the fish. Sew with this yarn tail as well. Pass the yarn tail through the fabric a few more times. Cut off the excess yarn. Hinge it to allow the yarn tail to retract into the fabric. The mouth has been sewn. Next, take out the side fins. Sew the side fins onto both sides of the main body. The side fins should be approximately 5 stitches away from the eyes. From the position of the eyes, count 5 stitches to the left and right. Here is the first stitch, the second stitch, the third stitch, the fourth stitch, and the fifth stitch. Use a stitch marker to mark this position. The approximate position below is here. Similarly, mark this position with a marker. Also determine the position on the other side. Count 5 stitches. Take out the stitch marker to make a mark. We will now begin sewing. Thread the yarn tail onto the sewing needle. The wire side fin should be facing upwards. Sew from the top down like this. Remove the stitch marker. After sewing, pass the yarn tail through the fabric a few more times. This is to prevent unraveling. Cut off the excess yarn. This yarn tail should also be hidden inside the fabric. Cut off any excess yarn tail. One side fin is now sewn. Now, let's sew the other side. Thread the yarn tail onto the sewing needle. Pass the yarn tail through the fabric a few more times. Cut off the excess yarn. This yarn tail should also be hidden inside the fabric. The side fins are now sewn. Next, take out the tail. Sew the tail onto the pufferfish from row 10 to row 12. First, let's determine the position for sewing the tail. The tail is sewn onto the back of the main body. Measure across from the head here. Measure across from the mouth here. This is approximately the position. Let's count it out. Attach a stitch marker on row 10 to mark the spot. Make a mark at this position. Thread the yarn tail onto the sewing needle. Begin sewing. Hide the yarn tail inside the fabric. Cut off the excess yarn. This yarn tail should also be hidden inside the fabric. Cut off the excess yarn. The tail is now sewn. Next, take out the dorsal fin. Sew the dorsal fin onto the top of the body from round 1 to round 5. First, determine the position for sewing. Here is the first round. The second, third, fourth, and fifth rounds. Use a stitch marker to mark this position. First round, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round. It should be around this position. Let's begin sewing. Thread the yarn tail onto the sewing needle. When sewing the dorsal fin, be careful not to sew it crookedly. First, secure both ends, and then proceed to sew. Pass the yarn tail through the fabric a few more times. This is to prevent unraveling. Cut off the excess yarn. Hide this yarn tail inside the fabric. The dorsal fin is now sewn. Pick a piece of yellow yarn that is approximately 20 inches long. Embroider patterns on the pufferfish's back. Thread the yarn onto the sewing needle. Use the yarn with one end longer than the other. Insert the needle at any position on the back. Leave a little yarn tail. Do not pull it completely into the fabric. Skip one stitch to embroider the pattern. Be careful not to pull too tightly while embroidering the pattern. Pulling too tightly can easily deform the fabric. After you have embroidered the patterns, you can hide the yarn tail. Cut off the excess yarn. This yarn tail should also be cut off. The pufferfish is now completed. For the blue one, please refer to the same methods to crochet it yourself. If anyone encounters problems while crocheting, you can contact us through our official email to report your issues. We will promptly improve the video.